We're doing good. Okay, hey, welcome. Glad everyone made it today. It's forward bends. Forward bends. So the focus, of course, with forward bends, low back and hamstring. So we'll start out standing into Tadasana, and then we're going to spend the rest of the session on the mat. We have a number of repeat postures we're going to do, including Janu Shashasana, which is that one-legged forward fold. Not my strong point. I'm really tight there, so I'll be using a block, maybe a blanket, and of course you can use a strap as well for this particular session. All right, folks, let's get into our groove here. We'll start in Tadasana, mountain pose. As always, feet can be together or slightly apart. If they're apart no wider than your hips, go ahead and lift all 10 toes. Try to spread the toes out as we work into the inner arches of the feet. Now take the toes out and down onto the mat. Legs are firm, stomach is in, chest is soft. Shoulders, bring them up, back and down. Fingers are energized towards the floor, chin is slightly tucked. Breath and movement. Let's inhale through the nose, bring the arms all the way up. Exhale, arms come down, and we're exhaling through the nose. So as you inhale, fill up the chest, inhale, lift the arms. Breathe in, just a little bit more oxygen. Exhale, arms come down. Groovy. One more here. Inhale, bring the arms up. Even introducing a small back bend at the very top. Exhale, arms come down. Great. Let's throw in a forward fold. So inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Keep the knees soft as we bring it down. Great. All right, first one of our forward folds here. So take notice how you feel on that low back. Of course, if it's really tight, you can put a small bend in the knees. Don't struggle to reach the mat. If you can't reach the mat, top of the feet or the shins. All right, bring it up halfway. Give me a flat back. We do this on an inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, lift up, reach up all the way. Exhale, forward fold, bring it down again. Halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, reach up, extend. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive down again, knees soft as necessary. Halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, arms reach up, extend. Exhale, arms to the sides. Nice. All right, first few forward folds looking good. Next up, we're going to do a forward fold and then walk into downward dog. So inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the hands down to the mat. Bend the knees as you need to. And walk your hands forward or walk your feet back to downward dog. So give yourselves an extra second to get into your best posture here. The knees can be slightly bent. And you can bend the knees slightly here initially to get yourself set up here. You're pushing your hips to the back edge of the mat. Arms are extended. Hands are about shoulders width apart. Maybe a little wider if you've got tight shoulders. Heads relaxed in between the arms. All right, lift the hips, lengthen the legs, bring the heels down. Trying to get the heels to the mat. They may not make it today, just go where you can. Now lengthen everything. The arms are long, heads relaxed, legs are long, core, your stomach is in. Chin is slightly tucked, so keep that stomach in. Lift the tailbone towards the ceiling just a little bit here. So it's a little bit of a pelvic tilt that we're doing with the pelvis. Good. Give me one more breath. And on your exhale, bring the knees down to the mat. Woo. And we're going to have a nice sit in Dandasana. So sit down with the legs in front. Dandasana or staff pose. So the legs are extended in front. Go ahead and flex the feet so the toes come back at you and the heels push forward. Calves are energized, touching the floor. Quadriceps are energized. Now your torso, don't slouch. Keep the torso up. Shoulders are up, back and down. Core is in, chin is slightly tucked. Hands can rest next to the thighs, actually next to the hips here, even if your arms are slightly bent. But keep the shoulders away from the ears. This is Dandasana. Great. And from here, now you can slouch a bit. Okay, from staff pose to boat pose. Yes, boat pose. Come on, let's do it. Bend the knees, bring the legs up. You can keep the legs bent here if you'd like. If you're going all out with this, go ahead and extend the legs. Any variation of boat pose is fine early on. So if you're having a really hectic day or a Whataburger day, you can take the hands behind your knees and use that core to keep the torso up as tall as you can. And then you can still extend one leg and then the other, even with your hands behind the knees. You're working your biceps with this. This is another variation that a friend of mine showed me. So if it works for you for this session, go ahead and do it. Other than that, arms are extended. All right, we're almost there. Give me 2 more breaths, please. Last breath. And with your exhale, recover. Woo. All right, we're here for about 3 breaths. Just relax. We're relaxing the body, but the breath, keep it cyclic. In and out through the nose, nice and deep. Last breath in. And with your next inhale, Navasana, boat pose. We have 2 to do. This is the second and last one. So as always, go ahead and pick up those knees, pick up the legs anyway, legs bent or extended. I'll leave it up to you. And of course, as I like to talk about or think about when you do boat pose, what did you have for lunch? That's the question. Now, don't fool yourself. I know you didn't have a warm glass of water and sawdust. Somebody probably went to, Whataburger, Chipotle, had a homemade hamburger with bacon and cheese. A couple of more breaths right here. We can get you to think about just one meal. We'll make some minor adjustments and recover. Woo! Nice. Thank you, Rain. Go ahead and shake out the legs. Good work for the core there. A little bit of core work as the core supports that lower back, and we need it as we engage in our forward folds. Next up, cobbler's pose. So bend the legs, soles of the feet together, and bring the heels in. And I'm using my hands to hold on to the feet. Now, for those of you with really tight hips, you're more than welcome to sit on a block or a blanket. So I'm going to sit on the edge of a blanket and let my hips, I'm sitting right on the edge of the blanket. So my hips, my pelvis is rolling forward just a little bit. It gives me just a little more action into the pelvis. An odd phrase at best, just go with it. We're all yogis here. So I get a little more movement, a little more freedom within the pelvis here to come down. And I find myself rather stable. So this is an option for you. All right, we're here for a minute. We've already been engaged. Feel free to come forward with this posture. So with the heels in, you can bring your forehead to your feet. Lean forward with this. If that's not in your practice, you know that's not going to happen. Keep your torso up. You can use your elbows on the inside of the knees to press the knees out a bit. So with this posture, ultimately with enough practice, the outer portions of the knees will be on the floor. All right, maybe not tonight, but that's generally the idea where we'll go for. All right, a few more breaths. We're doing good. whether you're staying tall with your torso or leaning forward. Those of you with Ashtanga practices, there is some twisting action that happens here. Well, forward folds first and then twisting actions. All right, we're looking good. And we've done it. Here we go. Bring the knees up, please. Nice and easy. And extend the legs. Shake them out, please. There's a lot of work we need to do with the hamstrings, calves, and Achilles, mainly the hamstrings with our forward folds. All right, this is an easy seated cross-leg twist. So cross your legs however you can, or if it's too much to cross the legs, just keep your legs extended in Dandasana. All right, let's twist to the right. So legs are crossed in any fashion if you're able. My right arm is propping my torso up nice and tall, looking over the right shoulder. Nice, hold here, give me another breath. And recover, come back to center. And let's twist to the left. And this is clearly my tighter side. But once again, trying to get the torso as tall as possible as you twist to the left, looking over the left shoulder. Nice. Hold here. Give me 2 more breaths. And with that last exhale, recover. Back to center. Great. Go ahead and extend the legs out. Shake them off a few times. So it's not just the spinal column, but it's all the muscles of the lower and mid-range back that we're trying to lengthen so that we can increase our forward fold. All right, here is our key posture, Janu Shirshasana. Let's start with the left. Bend the left leg, and then push the left knee off to the side, push the left foot into the right leg. Now, for those who have a hard time seeing this, I'll turn. Looks like this. So my left leg is bent, left foot into the right knee. And we're going to do a forward fold over the right leg. Now, if you cannot reach your foot, you can use a strap or a towel and bring yourself forward. We're literally trying to get our forehead onto the right knee. If you don't need a strap or a towel, you can reach out with one or both hands to grab the right foot and lengthen. So there's a small twist here, a small twist to the right as we lean over the right leg. Okay, we're here for a few breaths. So with your exhales, try to find a little more space and move into it. Remember the rule, if you get any cramps, any solar plexus cramps or cramps anywhere, just come out of the posture, please. Don't fight through it. Just come out of the posture. You'll be fine. Okay. We're doing good. 5 more breaths right here. Hang in there. If you can come down a little more, if there's too much pressure on that left knee, extend the left leg out to the side. 2 more breaths. Nice. Last breath in. And with your exhale, roll the torso up nice and easy. Switch sides. So the left leg comes out, bend the right leg, and the right foot goes onto the left leg. And one thing I did not tell you is that if that right knee or that bent leg is not coming down to the mat for anything, you can always put a blanket or a block underneath it. Now I'm going to reach out and grab my block. And yes, I'm still sitting on my blanket and giving a little altitude to the hips. So I've got my pelvis coming forward just a bit here. The right leg, which is bent, is supported by the block. And now Janu Shirshasana as we lean over the left leg. Now this is a lot tighter for me, so I'll use a strap. And pull the torso forward. Don't sweat it. If you don't have a fancy yoga strap, grab a towel, blanket, pair of pants, anything works. Just getting a grip on that foot. Now with this one, you may feel it, maybe the low back, or you may feel it in the bent knee. Now, as I said before, if the pain, if the discomfort is too much for you, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 it feels good, 10 it feels like, well, not good, then I suggest kick the leg out. You can still do the same posture, okay? We're still leaning over the left leg, but if the discomfort gets too much, find a variation or just ask me. We'll get you a variation for pretty much any posture that we're doing. All right, folks, we're looking good. We've got 2 more breaths right here. Try to move a little deeper if you can. So we're coming a little lower over the left leg. Last breath in. And with your exhale, roll the torso up. Kick out the right leg, shake it out just a bit. I'm going to turn a bit here. Woo! I know, forward folds, but I'm feeling it in the knees already. All right, we're back to cobbler's pose. So bend both legs, soles of the feet together, bring the heels in. We're here for 1 minute. So as you bring the knees closer to the floor, you're more than welcome to do a forward fold with this one. Play it as you will. And I'll remind everybody that you can also do this posture with your back against a wall. And really, it feels great. If you've never done this with your back against the wall, give it a go. Because when you do it, you feel as if you've got that support and you don't need to hold on to the feet any longer. But when you're in the middle of a mat, in the middle of a room, yeah, we sort of feel as if we got to hold on to our feet. So either way, feel free to complete a forward fold as we aim our forehead to our feet. And for you Ashtanga folks who practice Ashtanga, this is in the first series. And if it's just too much to lean forward, don't sweat it. But it does go in with the theme of the session with our forward bends. As we start to lengthen all the muscles along the lower and mid-range back. All right, here we go. 1 more breath in. With that exhale, next inhale, lift the torso, bring the knees up. Woo, take the legs out and shake them out. Wow. Ah. Okay. Next up is Upavista Konasana. So let's take the legs wide. Now, I'm going to go ahead and turn just a little bit here onto the camera. So just take the legs and open them up as far and wide as you can reach them. Another posture you can do with using the wall, you can actually face the wall. So your feet or your heels are on the wall. And you can put your hands on the wall with this one. It's a great way to determine how wide, how much wider you're getting your legs every time you do it. All right, with this one, we're going to keep our torso nice and tall. We're not leaning forward. We're not leaning to either leg. Keep the torso tall and open up the legs. Feel free to flex the feet. So when I say flex, you're pushing the heels out. Toes are coming back at you. When you do that, you're going to engage every muscle in the leg. The calves are on the mat. As I said, we're keeping the torso tall. Feel free to use a block for your hands. The core is in. So you feel maybe a little bit of tension on that low back as we keep the torso tall and we keep the tension on the legs, keeping them as wide as we can. As I said, we're here for 1 minute. We're more than halfway there. And the next posture isn't much of a change. It's a small change from what we're doing right now. All right, working on the hamstrings, the inner thigh muscles. Let's increase it just a bit. Next posture. Keep the legs where they are, but do a forward fold. So I'm just going to walk the hands forward. Ooh, yeah. You'll feel it increase in tension in the inner thighs and in your low back. That's the ticket. We got it. Walk the hands forward. Now, some of you will probably have your forearms on the floor already. If so, great. Others of you are already laid out flat. If you are, that's brilliant. And that's Rain talking. Rain, shut please. So if you're laid out flat on the floor, try not to go to sleep. Other than that. And once again, go ahead and flex the feet. It's going to increase the intensity level of the posture, but if you flex the feet, you'll feel it. Yes, we're here for 1 minute. Use the breath, nice and deep, in and out. With your exhales, maybe you go a little further. Maybe you come down just a little more. Last breath in. Ooh, and with the next inhale, slowly roll the torso up. Nice and easy here. Keep the legs where they're at. Let's try a small back bend. Hands right behind the thighs. Shoulders are up, back, and down as we lift the heart just a little. We feel some compression in the low back. And recover. Great. All right, go ahead and bring those legs in, shake them out. It may take a second here, so take it easy as you bring the legs in. Shake the legs out. And we are going back to cobbler's pose. So bend the legs. Soles of the feet together. You can hold on to the feet. I like holding onto the feet. And bring those knees down. All right, keep the torso tall in this one. Now I know before, the last 2 times we did this, we did a forward fold. This time, keep the torso up and think about bringing those knees closer to the mat. And of course, you can think about it, use the elbows. For those of you that have any additional weight, maybe a sandbag of the type you can put onto your inner knees. If you have small dogs, that work well. Very small kids, that'll work well. You don't want too much weight on the knees though. All right, torso's tall, stomach, your core is in. That's right, we're timed on this one as well with 1 minute posture. We're doing good. A lot of work here into the hamstrings and low back. But it will enable you to increase your flexibility. And from a very simple point of view, if you're standing, you'll be able to reach your toes a lot easier. All right, folks, 2 more breaths. Nice. And from here, bring the knees up. Whew. And squeeze the knees in just a bit. Woo, yeah. Not bad. Feels pretty good here. All right, let's keep going. Take the legs out. Our key posture, once again, is Janu Shirshasana. Now we're going to hold it for 1 minute per side. Let's start with the left leg. Bend the left leg. Drop it off to the side. Left foot, right leg. And we're going to extend the torso over the right leg. Of course, you can do the formal way here. Just inhale with the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. And of course, a strap if you cannot reach the foot, or a towel. Some of you might be able to extend your hands beyond your foot and maybe grab an opposite wrist. So if you can grab your opposite wrist over the foot, that's fantastic. We can all make it there. The key is just practicing, that's all. We need to practice our yoga at least every other day. Most yogis will tell you a few minutes every day works well. But let's go for every other day, shall we? Get an egg timer, set it for 10 minutes, and do any and everything you can. Downward dogs, boat poses, a little bit of yoga goes a long ways. All right, folks. Janu Shirshasana. As you exhale, come forward a little more. That's it. One more breath in. And with the next inhale, recover. Nice, easy recover. Let's switch legs. Left leg extends. Bend the right leg. And drop it off to the side. All right, now I'm going to put a block underneath my right leg as I did before, and I'm going to use a strap. All right, so if you're not using a strap, you can inhale your arms up, exhale, and forward fold. And I'm going to engage one more variation. So my right knee is not feeling all that hot tonight, so I'm going to kick it out, much like Konasana. And then extend myself a little deeper over the left leg. Cheating? No, it's not cheating at all. You're doing fine right here. That's it. All right, we're here for a minute. Well, less than that at this point. Stick with the breath, your Ujjayi pranayama breath, in and out, nice and deep. I know I do not harp on the breath as much as I should, so try to keep it in mind. Nice work. One more breath in. And with your exhale, come on up nice and easy. Woo. Bring the legs. You can extend the right leg. Shake it out a bit. Next up, Paschimottanasana. So that's our seated forward fold. So with both legs extended, inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. So no legs are bent here with Paschimottanasana. Grab hold where you can. And if you don't have a strap or a towel and you cannot reach your toes, grab your ankles, grab your shins, grab anywhere. Straps or towels are great though, because you can put those around your feet and pull yourself forward. All right, we've got 2 sets to do, 1 minute each. So let's get engaged with this. Keep your eyesight on your shins or on your feet or further forward. We're trying to keep a flat back with this process. I know it's odd because when we did cobbler's pose, we did a forward fold and you were clearly rounding your back. But here we're trying to keep a flat back because ultimately your face will be planted on your shins. And you'll be laid out like a sandwich. Okay, not the best analogy, but it works. All right, folks. A couple of more breaths. We're doing good. Any cramps, any issues, I need you to recover from the posture. 2 more breaths. Last inhale. And then your next inhale, release your grip. Roll up slowly. Hands next to the hips. Small back bend. So the shoulders are up, back, and down as we lift the heart towards the ceiling just a bit and recover. All right, Paschimottanasana. We have 1 more to do here. Now, if the discomfort in the lower back is too much for you, go ahead and bend the knees just a little bit. You can do the same posture by bending the knees. Something else you can do is, I have a bolster, and you can put the bolster behind your knees. If you don't have a bolster, a big blanket or pillows behind your knees works well, and you can do the same posture, doing a forward fold. But when your knees are bent, try to get the stomach onto the thighs, okay? So we'll use that as an option for this one. If you have nothing at all, feel free to go ahead and bend the legs as much as you need to. All right, inhale, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold for Paschimottanasana, set number 2. Now, wherever you can find that grip, pull the torso forward. Now, in this posture, I've got the legs bent, so I'm trying to keep the stomach on the thighs. And I've seen some folks start off with your legs bent, and then they slowly lengthen the legs until the legs are straight. That's one way of doing it. But don't be held by what other people are doing. Work the posture that's going to work best for you. No matter what, maintain the tension, use your breath. As you exhale, maybe you come forward a little more. Almost there, folks. We've got 3 breaths left. Last breath in. And recover. Release the grip. Roll up slowly. Oh, hands on the mat. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Lift the heart. And recover. All right, Konasana. Believe it or not, down to our last Konasana, Upavista Konasana. So legs are wide, as wide as you can get them. Feel free to flex the feet. And if you're sitting on a blanket or a small block, sit on the very edge so your pelvis is rolling forward just a bit. Good, bring those hands forward. We're here for a minute. And it may feel easier to get into this posture now. You might be a lot further down than you were the last time. And the answer, the rationale is obvious. We're warmed up. Hamstrings are warmed up. Low back. We're moving further into our postures now. Hang out, relax. Actually, don't relax. Breathe. You can relax into the posture. As some of you know, most of the terms we use, the Sanskrit, all the postures end in asana, A-S-A-N-A. And asana actually translates into, comfortable seated pose. So it's hard to believe that we can be comfortable in like tree pose, but you can get into that. Sometimes it's easier to get comfortable into these postures, Upavista Konasana, as you lean forward. All right, down to 3 breaths. Last breath in. And with your next inhale, roll up slowly. Oh, I am so feeling this in the low back right now. Hands behind the thighs. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down as we lift the heart just a bit towards the ceiling. Oh my. And recover. Okay. This has been fantastic. All right, we're going to Apanasana. Apanasana. So we're going to lie down on our backs and bring the knees in. So with the legs extended, lie back. Oh, hands on top or behind the knees and just squeeze in. And sure, you can rock a little bit left and right. But we're working ascending and descending colon. We're compressing and massaging all the lower abdominal organs. And if you're rocking a little bit left and right, well, you're working on that lower spinal column as well. Lots of action here. And yeah, if you've done Bikram yoga, they call this the wind removing pose. Y'all can do the math on that one. All right, Ardha Apanasana. Let's take one leg at a time. So I'm going to hold on to my left leg, extend the right leg onto the mat. I'm squeezing my left knee towards the left shoulder. And yeah, I'm taking it off to the side so we're not directly over the rib cage. The idea is that you don't want to crack a rib. I know. We had both legs there earlier. But the common thinking is that, you're not going to be able to exert enough strength using both legs and both arms to crack any ribs, but you can do it with one. I just go with what's said. Trust me. Well, I do think about things. All right, squeeze in, hold tight. Your right leg's extended, or if you're more comfortable, you can put a slight bend in that right leg and flatten out the spinal column. That's always an option. One more breath. And switch legs. So I'm going to extend the left leg, bring the right knee in. Squeeze the right knee to the right shoulder. And of course, the left leg's extended or a slight bend on that left leg. sometimes it feels pretty good to be able to flatten out the spinal column. So you're tucking your chin just a bit, and you feel that little curve in the lower back as the whole of the spinal column is flat on your mat, on your carpet, wherever you happen to be practicing. All right, lots of compression here, using your biceps. Squeeze the knee in. One more breath. Nice, and recover. Extend the right leg, arms overhead. One full body stretch on this one. Nice. And recover. Bend the legs, feet are flat. Let's make our way up to Sukhasana, comfortable seated posture. So I'm going to take the knees to the right and come on up to a comfortable seated posture. Any seated posture is fine. We've got one more twisting action to do here. So I've got one leg bent, one extended, and I'm sitting on a block. You may be seated in lotus or have both legs extended. It's up to you. But from your seated posture, a twist to the right. Let's go to the right first of all. Keep the torso nice and tall as we lean and look over to the right, over the right shoulder. And recover. Let's go. A la izquierda. That's right. I'm throwing out the Spanish today. Let's twist to the left as we look over our left shoulder. Torso's nice and tall. We're trying not to lean the torso back or to the side. Keep it tall as we twist to the left. One more breath. And back to center. Groovy. All right. Find your comfortable seated posture. Eyes are soft or closed. Disengage your Ujjayi pranayama breath. Breathe regularly here. And you might even engage just one or two deep breaths with an open mouth exhalation. Doing so can feel somewhat relieving of all the toxins you have built up for the posture and maybe all the toxins you've built up throughout the day. Okay, folks, with another deep inhalation, bring the arms up and overhead, palms come together. Exhale the breath as the hands come down past your third eye to your heart center. On your continuing journey, remember always to remain kind, remain gentle, and always remember to stay fearless. Thank you for a great session this evening. Thank you and namaste.